Hi, Richie.
Hi, Sin.
How's it going?
Well, we've been recording for 3 hours and it's really hot.
I was about to be like, long time no see, and I'm like... You kind of sounded like Ludwig there.
Let's just go.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the third note.
Yes?
And I'm trying to decide which note it is.
The one in the dark house next to Gilbert. That says when the hunt began, the healing church left us.
Alright, perfect.
Yeah.
So... Oh, should we... Yeah, we should probably explain what this is.
This is the third episode of We're Never Running Out of Material, There Is No Stopping This Train, in which Sin decides that we have to focus on the individual notes that are scattered around Yharnam and discuss what each one means. Mm-hmm. Most of them are completely straightforward and don't require explanation, but I noticed we've been recording for over an hour now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that is really, really useful material and not just us arguing.
Yeah, and, like, I wonder why I decided to record today, because I'm very tired and I'm, like, grumpier than usual because I had a long week. And we've been recording for a while, and...
I think you're on a high because we just had Gary on, so you're like, this is what it could be like.
But then I forget my own limitations.
You look at Duckfee and you're like, this is like a beautiful vision of what podcasting could be. And then you go back to reality and it's just like us.
Oh, it's horrible.
So so you're just trying to be like, how much can we get out of this?
Because I wanted to do this for a while. Yeah. And I kind of... Because we do that when we want to do something and then we kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
And what reminded me was, I think it was Utopia Boy who asked about a note.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a really good question. And then I was like, oh, yeah, we should probably do each note like we wanted to.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it now.
Okay.
Okay, so the third note, Richie, can you read it out loud in your best Maria voice?
What, in a very good Irish accent?
Oh, yeah, whatever.
No. When I was about to, and then I thought, no, some Irish people might be listening. When the hunt began, the healing church left us, blocking the great bridge to Cathedral Ward as Old Yharnam burned to the ground that moonlit night. So this is early on. It's really important, and a lot of people, I think, don't quite notice it. What it's getting at, Yharnam as a society has completely turned on the healing church. This is important. This is they used to praise the healing church, but this is why if you walk around dressed as a member of the healing church, they still try killing you. And, that's why if you summon Gascoigne, they will fight Gascoigne. Gascoigne is fighting them. Because, at this point, the Healing Church went from this incredibly important institution in Yharnam that, everyone was following to, oh, actually, they don't care about us at all. It's becoming like the French Revolution. Everyone's turned on them.
And it's interesting that you mentioned Gascoigne because, I forget, it's either his scarf or something that mentions that he parted ways with the Healing Church.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he parted ways with the church, but, he's still if you wear his garb, people will recognize you as part of the church, like Adela will and Ludwig will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, the whole thing it's getting at is, the Healing Church were, this... really, they were in charge of Yharnam pretty much up until Old Yharnam burned down. And then when they burned Old Yharnam down, that was when the people of Yharnam were like, oh shit, these people are not on our side, they are using us. And that's why they will attack you if you're dressed as a member of the Healing Church, and it's also why you can't get into Cathedral Ward. Because they have been, they under siege, basically. the Yharnamites are attacking Cathedral Ward, so the Healing Church just like blocked off the entrances, and they've gone into like a siege mode. And this like, Lance has shown this off, and it was in one of the very early trailers. There is a cutscene of like the Yharnamites attacking Cathedral Ward, where they all like, it's kind of like the end of Frankenstein, where this is like this mob with all these burning torches kind of converging on the clock tower. So the idea is like all of Yharnam has gone to shit and is tearing itself apart.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like the Yharnamites were on the side of the Healing Church until Old Yharnam happened, and then they were like, "Oops,"
Oops,
and they haven't really talked since. And like having gone through all this deleted dialogue and stuff, there's a lot more to this. Where there's like, this will still happen in game, but it's hard to trigger because it's sort of not supposed to be there. I think it's actually a glitch that it plays at all. Where some Yharnamites will yell death to the minister.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, yeah, we'll talk about that for a second. So sometimes Yharnamites randomly yell death to the minister, but it's really, really rare, and it's possible that you'll get through like multiple playthroughs without ever hearing it. And there are all these theories about like, oh, why do they say it? Is it because you're wearing choir garb? Is it because like, is it this weapon that triggers it? Because no one could make it happen consistently. And it turns out that this is something Meph discovered after like hours and hours of research, that it happens during one specific animation, which is when a Yharnamite, it's like a defensive move they do with the torch, where they wave the torch in front of themselves back and forth to like keep you away. That sometimes triggers dialogue that is otherwise cut. So I think honestly it is just a glitch, because they reference like, it's not just that line, it's things like they'll say Idona will be the judge, or like rip the kid apart or something, that don't make any sense in context, but are like part of a cutscene that was removed. So like early on it looks like there was going to be like a set piece where a bunch of Yharnamites were attacking a Healing Church member and yelling death to the minister. And that was deleted, but because there's something is off about that animation, that it's calling like a piece of dialogue that was cut. So yeah, you can, if you basically just annoy a Yharnamite with a torch long enough, he will eventually yell death to the minister.
Okay, thank you.
That was surprisingly on topic, and only 10 minutes. Yeah.
The note, let's look at it a little more closely. It says, when the hunt began... What?
Let's look at it a little more closely. It's like, oh no.
Well, yeah. So, when the hunt began, the Healing Church left us. When did the hunt begin?
This is very confusing because they use hunt, like, to mean a whole lot of different things. So I actually don't quite understand what it's getting at there.
And then it says, blocking the Great Bridge to Cathedral Ward. Which bridge is that?
That's the one the Cleric Beast is on.
How did they block it?
Well, they deleted the door.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, did they just lock the door?
they deleted the door, and they're like, well, only Lance can get in now.
Okay, thank you.
It may also refer to like there's like these bars that have come down. You can see them. Like the bridge there's the door, but then you can see that the bridge continues into like a tunnel, and that's got all these like iron bars in front of it, and it may just refer to that.
Okay. As Old Yharnam burned to the ground that moonlit night. Could you talk about that?
Well, you may have missed this, but there is an area called Old Yharnam that was burned on a moonlit night, and I think it's referring to that, but we can't be certain.
And I don't know if you still think that. When they say that moonlit night, do you think there was a red moon over Old Yharnam that night?
Yeah, like explicitly there was. It says so.
Where? Where does it say? Where does it say there was a red moon over Old Yharnam that night? Find me that note.
It says so in another note that we can't talk about because of the way you've structured this.
I swear to God, unless the note says literally there was a red moon over Old Yharnam the night it burned.
Well, the red moon hangs low and beasts rule the streets. Are we left with no other choice than to burn it all to cinder? Location, Old Yharnam.
That note could be referring to any location.
It's true. Because, I mean, what I like most about the Souls games is they're not actually about anything. There's There's not a series of like themes or ideas that they're developing, and there's no real. It's just random shit that you argue about on Reddit all day.
The only thing we know for sure is the horsefish.
Yeah. Is that all?
I don't know. I can't remember. It's old. It's late, and it's literally late. It's like 1:30 a.m. for me. I don't usually stay up that late.
You usually wake up around this time
to record a podcast about mysterious creatures.
Yes.
I guess that note is. Oh no! What does the note say in Japanese?
Same thing, I think.
Same thing, you think?
I'll look it up. Pad out this episode.
What?
It's padding out the episode. I liked how Gary didn't consider that part of the game padding because he was colorblind and didn't understand the puzzle and thought it was just like crazy. And he's...
That was the best.
Scattered notes. Okay, so this is like what I can. This may not be entirely correct, but it's like on the night of the beast hunt, the bridge to the Cathedral Ward was sealed. The church has forsaken us. On the night of the moon, when they burned Old Town. Old Town is the name of Old Yharnam in Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing.
It's pretty much the same thing. I'd have to get like someone who spoke the language to like double check, but it may just be on the instead of when the hunt began. It may just be like on the night of the hunt. I don't know though.
Well, is Mai awake?
Yeah, but I think she may be at work or something.
Well, you have Twitter?
She might not be there.
Did I ask? What did... Oh my god, Reggie.
Do you want to do one more note? Carry you through to 2 a.m.
Are we done with this one?
What else is there to say about it?
Did you ask Mai what it means?
Do you want to just do the next note now?
Okay.
Okay.
Wait! We have to do the outro for this one! It's separate notes, it's separate episodes.
Jesus.
Go.
That was episode 3 of a potentially 21-part series, covering the fascinating notes on the ground in Bloodborne. This one differed from them because it was on the kind of a shelf. Who knows where the next one will be?
Oh, exciting!
For more great discussion of notes in a game from 4 years ago, smash that like button. And subscribe to the Sinclair Lore channel. You can also support the channel on Patreon, which allowed me to get a slightly better quality microphone.
Oh, that's true, so some good does come out of this.
Good has come out of it, but the good is that I just get to keep recording.
Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, Sin.
Okay, see you later.